Good afternoon. It's February 23rd. Thanks for joining me. And this is another coronavirus update and its effect on the markets. First, let's talk about the virus. I have to admit, I'm getting a little bit more concerned here. This thing is not going away. The good news, if there is any, is that the new cases are not rising as quickly. The contagion rate is about 2 to 3 people for every new person infected. As of today, there's 78,996 worldwide cases. 2,470 people have succumbed to the virus. That is now at 3% mortality rate, which is up from the 2.5% before. There's about 42,000 of the active cases, which are 53,000 active cases. 42,000 thereabouts are in mild condition. What's interesting about this virus is that the majority of cases are mild. Some people don't even know they have it. They've just been tested for whatever reason, being on a cruise ship or something of this sort. But for some unknown reason, it's ubiquitous in the way that it can all of a sudden become deadly to a certain amount of people. So it is interesting this way. The incubation period was estimated at 2 to 14 days previously. Now they're talking that it could be up to 21 days before you're symptomatic, which is not good news because that would mean that you could walk around and spread it to more people before you know you had it. It's still only in 33 countries, but we have seen in at least 24 hours, we have seen a spike of cases in Italy. The majority of cases still are in China, 76,942 cases in China, 691 cases on the Diamond Princess cruise ship. That seems quite alarming. The highest concentration of cases are on the cruise ship because of the concentration of people in a nice close area. They called it the floating petri dish. Other countries, South Korea has 602. Italy, its cases are starting to spike. We'll talk a little bit more about Italy in a second. Japan has 146 cases, and so on down the line. Singapore, Hong Kong, Iran, Thailand, USA, Taiwan, Australia, and onward and onward. Here in the United States, we now have 35 cases. Some of that, obviously, because we brought home some cruise ship passengers and brought them home, put them in quarantine, and so there you go. No deaths in the United States yet. The most deaths in China, obviously, 2,444 deaths, and then the other nations down in the single digits, 8 in Iran, 6 in South Korea. Austria has blocked all train traffic from Italy. There are 78 new cases in Italy and 1 new death. There are 114 cases in Lombardy, including 2 deaths, and 25 in Veneto, including 1 death. At least 26 patients, of which 17 are in the town of Lombardy, are in critical condition. There are 11 towns with 50,000 people estimated that have been placed in lockdown. The armed forces of Italy and police forces have mobilized to form what they call an insurmountable health belt around contagion areas. Roadblock violators risk up to 3 months in a prison cell. Schools are closed in a variety of towns in Italy. The carnival in Venice and all sport and public events in Veneto have been canceled. And all private public events, sports, cultural, religious events, and movie theaters have been closed in Lombardy. So when we talk about the effect of the markets, you can see that the effect could run local to the cities and towns such as Lombardy and Veneto, to worldwide as travel, businesses are shut down. China, a lot of provinces in China look like a ghost town. So as I said more than a month ago when we went portfolio neutral on clients' portfolios, I did not think that the market was fully accounting for the problems that this could manifest, and we're seeing that certain areas of the planet are now being isolated, shut down, or vacated. And so I seriously think it's going to have more every day. I think this is going to have more and more of an effect on the market, which is why we did what we did in the portfolios about a month ago. South Korea, as of the 23rd, we have 166 new cases in South Korea and 4 new deaths. And finally, 4 new cases in the UK are former passengers of the Diamond Princess cruise ship. They also had another cruise ship called the Westerdam that was also quarantined, and a lot of those passengers have been let off from there, and then 1 passenger tested positive after they'd let off a bunch of passengers. 50 new cases and 1 death from the Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan, where it's stranded there. 2 new cases in Taiwan, 2 new deaths and 14 new cases in Iran, and 12 new cases in Japan. Keep in mind, these are new cases. And 1 new case in Australia from the Diamond Princess cruise ship. So that cruise ship's like a little, like I say, a floating petri dish. So I haven't seen the markets open up yet today. We have pre-hours that we can look at, early morning hours, Sunday, being Sunday the 23rd. Markets open up in about an hour, and so my bet is that we're going to see a negative open tomorrow, and we're going to see flight to safety, perhaps trades, which would be possible trades into oil, into gold, yes, even into cryptocurrencies, into bonds, into utilities, things, preferred stocks, basically what we call fixed income or flight to safety assets. General stocks, in my opinion, would probably sell off tomorrow. But keep in mind, remember, I have to preface this by saying no one can predict market movements at any time, and I cannot either. We can have an opinion, and everything that I've expressed as far as where the markets are going is opinion. Everything I've expressed as far as the virus has come from the statistical websites that are available to the public. So I'll keep watching the markets so you don't have to, but I have to admit, this thing doesn't seem to be going away. I don't want to be an alarmist. I mean, you have to realize we've only got a 3% mortality rate. But I will remind everyone, if in case they didn't know, the Spanish flu, which killed tens of millions of people in 1919, I believe it was, had a 2 or 3% mortality rate. And so we'll just pray that this thing doesn't get any worse. But we have to definitely take a look at the markets when something like this happens. This is a global event, and this could affect the markets more seriously. And I still don't think the markets are taking this into full account, because we're almost still near a new high. We're in the 29,005 something was the new high, 29,500 in the Dow, and we're still over 29,000. So my guess would be that the 29,000 level would be breached to the downside, and we'll just keep an eye on it. Okay. If you'd like to send me an email, you can do so at news@moneymanagementradio.com. Thanks for watching.